Welcome back to Sussex Farm for episode 24 with me, MrSealyp. Right, down at the brewery, nearly 20 past 7 in the morning, as you've seen. Early morning deliveries have happened, water's been delivered, fuel has been dispersed, wool has been sold off to Wombleway's Woolen Wear, and we are up to just over £2 million now. We are doing incredibly well. End of the last episode, or towards the end of the last episode, I did mention about an investment, and I had to explain, and something had gone a little bit wrong. I had a couple of comments as I drove off. I think towards the end of the episode, I looked over towards this direction, and you may have seen an orange kind of blob in the distance. Well, the thumbnail obviously gave this away too, but this was the investment. I with Milson's Maltings decided that rather than adding, keep adding the smaller silos, they'd go for a bigger one. So this is a facility now, let's be honest. This is going to be responsible for the storage and production of malt. So this is the whole maltings, not just the storage, they're doing everything. And this is massive. It's an 800,000 litre storage. All the dryers and, Anyway, yes. So they're going to be doing the malting here, on site, across the road to the brewery, ready to use. This is an Art Mechanics storage system, and this is by Vanquish 081. We had a bit of fun and games getting it in and trying to get it built and fit and all that kind of stuff, but I think it only just about fits on this placeable. It is a huge one. But we had a problem. And that's what I said at the end of the last episode was, and I'll explain. Something went wrong. And in the transfer of crops from the two silos that were here into the new silo, somehow, and I honestly have no idea how this has happened, Milson's, not that I'm blaming Milson's, lost 70,000 litres. A full load of the trailer. We're kind of a bit baffled. Anyway, the blame has been thrown backwards and forwards. The haulage company, and it wasn't KJ Wiggums this time, the company that were, taking it from one to the other. And let's be honest, it wasn't like that to travel far. So when we're looking now at Barley, we were up to 430,000 litres or 420, or I can't remember what it was, something like that. We've only got 376,000 litres in storage. So somewhere, 70,000 litres has evaporated. So I'm hoping that we can get it back up to 500,000. To be fair, if we get it back up to 430,000, somewhere like that, if we allow for the fact that the 70,000 went missing, we've still fulfilled the contract, but I'd really like to get up to 70,000. But there you go. So we are expanding the expansion of the brewing empire. We've gone from this being a rather dilapidated building right at the start of the series. We've got the signs are up. We've got pallets. We've got barrels. We've got the maltings has expanded and become much bigger. This is all what the intention was right from the start of the Let's Play, was to get everything back up and running, the farm making money, the farm being an integral part of the community, and with all the deliveries of water and fuel and bread from the bakery to the Wandering Grill, and we're doing our bit, and that was the whole point. So I am in the JCB 435S, and we are heading to Abbott's Farm. The reason being, we are finally doing the potatoes. I have assembled a mighty crew. The potato mashers. That's what we're calling ourselves. No, we're not calling ourselves that at all. That would be sad and embarrassing. So if we are calling ourselves that, we're not going to say it out loud. So Farmer Klein at Abbott's Farm has allowed us to use his facilities while we're down this way. I've assembled an unusual set of equipment, and before anyone starts saying you do know you could have used this, you do know you could, there's all sorts of equipment. I know There are actual, you know, big potato harvesters. I know I can tip directly into... I'm going to be palletising these potatoes. They're going to go up to the airfield and they're going to be sold up at the airfield, or at least put in for transport up at the airfield. So we're going to be palletising. So I've leased the Grimmy thingy. We'll get to it in a minute. So we are going to be palletising. The RH something, isn't it? Yeah, the RH 2460. So the palletizer is here. I've got the man Joskin pack truck with the low loader. That's now on the ground. I've got the Bobcat. So as we palletise, I'm going to be loading the trailer up. So as we harvest, we'll be palletising, loading the truck up. That will go up and we'll sell it. So, and yes, I know there are far more efficient ways of doing it. I could load directly into a trailer. I could take a trailer and tip it into a sell point. I could take a trailer and tip in front of the helicopter and use a conveyor belt to put it onto the helicopter rather than doing pallets. And yeah, there are so many different ways of doing it. But what's going to be also slightly interesting is my method of harvesting. I kind of looked at this very, very briefly, I think, on a guide 2 when I was doing a few different mods all in one. And Farmer Klein has very kindly lent us one of his tractors. He's got a fantastic little Massey. Look at that. 383. This is the one that I think the track widens on it. I'm sure it's this one. We've gone for the Akpil Bulwa 2. Now this is a strange little machine, but we're going to have this one chugging along, going backwards and forwards, because obviously the palletising process is going to take a little while. So I didn't really want a harvester that's going to be filling up so quickly and have so much in it that we couldn't keep up with it. So now, just to remind, and if you haven't been watching the Let's Play, or you know, my subscriber contracts that come in from subscribers, ideas, things they would like to see me do, they give me a contract with an idea of what to do, how much they need, what their company is, and what the payment will be, and then I decide whether I'm going to do it or not. Well, I've got 2 potato contracts. I only started off with one, to be fair. One was from Silas at the Tater Chip Company, and he started off saying he needed 50,000 litres, but he came back with a second message saying they didn't need as much, but their potato crop had failed and they needed 50,000. So they've now said they don't need as much, but didn't specify an amount, so it's going to be under 50,000. Then Dan, I don't know if you remember Dan, Dan had my pigs off me, and he gave me liquid fertiliser. Well, Dan needs root crops for his pigs because obviously he's got a pig farm, so he needs 37,500 litres. So I've got, you know, I don't know what I'm going to get off this field, if it's even going to come close. I have no idea. So what I'm going to do, I'll widen the track on that. Now I'm hoping this works like row crops and this isn't going to destroy the crop as we go across. But I'm going to set a worker. Oh, seems like something's gone across here and devastated the crop. It's a bit unusual. Oh no, it's crushing it. Right, okay, that's weird. Well, let's set this off. See what we can get, shall we? So what this should do now is this takes the potatoes out of the ground. So as you see it operating very, very smartly, and with a worker hired it should do more damage. There we go, that's better, isn't it? And that... Why has it stopped? Tree. There's a full grain tank. What? Oh, hang on a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay, we had a few glitches. The harvester works in such a way that it works like a harvester and it fills up with not a huge amount. Then you have to empty the harvester so you can unload it. But what was happening was every time I then hired a worker, it wouldn't unload on the go. So what I wanted to do is unload on the go and leave the potatoes on the ground. But what it was doing was filling up, and then you had to keep stopping it, unloading it and setting off again. So I did a little bit, and then hopefully now the worker's got the gist of it. No, it hasn't. I don't get it. I did this trip fine, so I assume it's going to stop again in a minute and say it's full. There we go. I don't know then. This is a worry. This is going to take quite a long time doing it this way. Excuse me, madam. I hope you don't mind. So I'm puzzled now then. Okay, well, we'll give it a go. See how we're getting on. It may well be I'm going to have to go up and down or do that off screen maybe, but the bulwer, it should unload as you go, but I think that might be if you do it yourself. As soon as you hire a worker it won't do that automatically. But anyway, that said, I was hoping I'd clear an area here and I could set up the palletizer. So where should I put the palletizer? Actually, to be fair, I'll probably just do it here. Don't want it to be in the way of anything. I was going to put it in the field, but I don't want it to be in the way of the... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do... Number crops. Mr. Muppet. Right. Absolute catastrophic disaster. I take it it's full again. This is not working how I thought it was going to. The Akpil Bulwer I thought would be a little bit more resilient, but never mind. So let's put this here, like so. Drop it down, like so, and disconnect. So that now, hopefully, and if I've done this right, then I hope I've done it right. Again, there are numerous ways of picking up potatoes off the ground. I'm just trying to think actually. I think the only thing it didn't do was potatoes, wasn't it? Under the new roper stuff, that was a roper harvester. Oh yeah, it was. It was under beets, wasn't it? This fantastic little bit of kit. These ones here that pick up off the floor. Then there was the roper. Oh, that was the one with the drum, wasn't it? Where's that then? The roper mouse. Is that in miscellaneous? Yeah, the roper Navarro mouse. I think that's a fantastic bit of kit. It's designed for picking crops up off the ground. The one crop it doesn't do is potatoes, which is really frustrating because that was kind of the idea, would be to pick it up off the ground using that. All the other ones are all for beets. There's not a potato one that picks them up off the ground. Both of these, the Holmer Exactera Felis and the Mouse 5, only do sugar beet. So unfortunately we're going to resort to this. Now I've seen and tried, you can use the snowblower with a trailer. That'll pick the potatoes up off the ground. There are numerous ways of doing it. I think I might have to get a tractor down with row crops, because at the moment if I do it myself I'm destroying crops as I go. So hopefully, there we go. If I drive up the strip now, I hope I've missed loads. I need that front shovel down a little bit. Let's drop that down a bit more. That's better. Obviously this is 11,500 litre shovel. And I don't even know, potato yields are normally very high, I don't even know if I'm going to come close to what I need. But that'll do 2 pallets. It's 2,000 litres per pallet, 4,015, that'll automatically do 2 pallets anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do now about this harvester, because this is This is a little bit frustrating. So I think what I'll do, I'll close the wheel track on that. And now it's doing it. What is going on? What is happening? Is it something to do with the fact I had the wheel track set wide? That can't be that, surely. And let's see what happens now when it turns around. Is it going to turn around and then not do it? It's going to do every other row? I don't know. I'm so confused. Come on, please work, please work, please work, please work. What is happening? Oh, okay. Well, let's just say, somehow I managed to get this to work. Seems very hit and miss, doesn't it? Anyway, so what we're going to do, let's get these potatoes picked up. We'll worry about the actual harvesting side of them in a minute. Let's get some palletising done, and then we can worry about the rest of it. We have 2 strips done in a row here. That's actually not too bad. So, get this off the field, into the palletiser, get that chugging away, and we can start getting some pallets in the trailer. Now hopefully this is going to work, I'm not going to miss any of the sides. That should, as soon as I start tipping, we should get a pallet. There we go, pop out the side, that will start to fill up. And then as soon as I move that pallet out of the way, another pallet will spawn. And each pallet is 2,000 litres. So that will stop. Like so. Move that pallet, another one will spawn. So, to the Bobcat. Like I say, this is labour intensive, it's, you know, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Some people want to do it quicker and they want to get finished, and I want to do a more kind of, you know, all hands on deck, everyone's helping out, doing their bit. Am I going to go from, I don't think this will work this way. So swing around. If I go in from the other side, I end up clipping the side of the palletiser, and I don't want to do that. So let's just get that in there. So as soon as I take this one away, another one will spawn and it should carry on. It says, please spawn and carry on. There we go. There goes the next one. Well, that's 2,000 of, well, We need at least 37,500 for Dan, and then we need whatever else we can get for Silas at the Tater Chip Company. So we'll start loading this up. Now this again, I've done this before on different maps. I did it on Drumard, and the trailer I used, the more pallets I put on, it got so glitchy and laggy, and it was awful. I don't know how many pallets I'm going to get on here before it starts doing anything like that, so maybe we'll have to do a couple of runs, I don't know, we'll see. We'll load it up. This will then go up to the airfield and we'll get it unloaded. So what I'll do then, as I do usually, I'll see you in a bit when I've got a bit more of the harvesting done, and I'll see if I can get that to work properly. We've got a few more pallets done and we're loaded up, and we'll see how we are from that point on, I think. And we'll get up, we'll sell some. I've been saying I'm going to be doing this for such a long time and just didn't get around to it, so It's now 9:42 and the whole production line has kind of ground to a halt, unfortunately. Got all the potatoes off the field, as you've seen, all harvested. I've cleared it all off and I've put it in a massive pile here. That's then going into the palletiser and I'm making pallets. I have got on the trailer 38,000 litres worth, 2,000 litres in each pallet. There are 19 on here. I didn't put 20 on because Dan wanted 37,500 litres. So I thought, well, if I give him 38, not a problem. So I thought what I'd also then start doing is carry on palletising, stack them up in twos, so when I come back with the lorry I can just load up a lot quicker. However, I got to the next pallet, picked it up, and I kept getting a warning sign up saying too many pallets, you need to sell some. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know how well this will get up to the sell point, but as I said before I started loading, it gets a little bit laggy, as you can tell, the closer you get, because the amount of pallets, the amount of potatoes, it doesn't like it too much. So I don't know, in all honesty, close the door, I don't know how bad this trip up is going to be, because it might be a little bit glitchy and laggy. If it is, we'll do, yeah, as you can tell, that is awful. That's just because the amount of pallets I've got on there. So what I'll do is I'll head up the hill. Not too sure which one to go up. I'll probably go out through Abbott's farm and then go up the normal hill, and before that gets any worse I will cut and I will see you up at the sell point, because that looks absolutely dreadful. See you up there in a minute. Okay, so the laggy train has arrived. This is horrendous. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this. Did I do this before with something else? I can't remember now whether I'm going to get this into the helicopter or not, but we'll give it a go. So let's jump out and get away from the trailer so the lag disappears. Perfect, there we go. Now what do I need to do? No, don't take off. I need to open back. There we go. Now, can I just back this up into it? Fingers crossed. That's probably going to be too high for the tail. Fingers crossed. If we just ignore the fact that probably would have just hit that. Can we get this whole thing into the back? It should start selling. There we go. Money's going up, which means we are selling potatoes. So this is 37,500 or 38,000 litres for Dan. Don't go up into there. No. So I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to sell. So I really do not want to be taking these off of the trailer and putting them in here pallet at a time, because that's as far as it's gone. I wonder if I drop this off and back it up. I don't know. I'll try anything I can. Right, so let's drop that off and see if I can manoeuvre that into the back. Might work, might not. It's worth a try. I don't know if the rollers will allow it to, or maybe the tailgate on the helicopter's too narrow. Oh, seriously, come on. Well, it's been an absolute disaster. It's not going well. It's only doing a few bits, and to get that to unload to this point, because I couldn't get it to back in, it hit the back of the helicopter and it was an absolute nightmare. So that hasn't worked how I was hoping it was going to. What I'm going to have to do, I think, then is bring the Bobcat up and then just unload with the Bobcat. I think either that or a smaller trailer, or actually a trailer rather than using this probably would have worked better. Maybe I could back a trailer in. Maybe that's the way of doing it. If I get what's that trailer that I got on Lone Oak Farm? It was the Bandit, wasn't it? The American Bandit low loader thing. I might get a few on that. Oh no, haven't I got it installed? Oh, I haven't got it installed on this map. Okay, I have a rethink. Next load's going to have to be something different, but I think what I have to do with this then is get the Bobcat up here and get it unloaded a different way. Slightly frustrating, but not a lot I can do about that. So, again, I'll see you up here in a minute when I've got the bobcat up here. And we'll get this lot unloaded. I might not get the second lot done in this episode, but we'll see what we can do. I can only do my best. That's all I can manage at the moment, I'm afraid. Sometime later, and part 2 of the laggy train arrives. I bought the American Bandit trailer because I thought backing a trailer in might be easier than backing an entire vehicle in, assuming it will work. So what I did was went down to the palletizer. Let's get away from that because that's laggy as anything. There we go, that's better. Went down to the palletizer, and that first load I managed to sell the back 2 stacks, and that was for Dan, 37,500 litres, and there were 38,000 litres on there. This is for Silas, the Tater Chip Company. I decided to put the pallets on lengthways rather than widthways, so obviously they're wider that way. That way I could get more on and take up less space, and that worked way better in all honesty. Still incredibly laggy, but I've got 40,000 litres on there. Now Silas has originally said he wanted 50,000 litres, which Farm Dog thought was a lot, but he did come back. He did come back and say that they didn't need as much. So I'm going to give him 40,000 litres, which is on here. So hopefully this is going to work. I did manage to squeeze that on the back of it as well, which means I can then off screen I'll unload the rest of that and we'll get that sold in there as well. Then the helicopter will go and, you know. So hopefully, fingers crossed and all that. We'll put the back down. We'll get this off the back. It was fiddly getting it on here, but not impossible. It was just a bit of kind of wiggling side to side. The problem was on the way here, as I turned one of the junctions, one of the cars turned in front of me, hit the trailer as they do, and knocked the bobcat. So whilst it's, there we go, we've done all right. Not perfect, but that will do. Right, so that now will come over here. Oh, it's so nice when you get the lag. And we'll unload this later. But what we're going to do now then is try, I do say try and back this, if we can, into the helicopter. To zoom in a little bit just so I can get myself lined up a little bit better. It's difficult because it's a little bit laggy to work out where exactly you are, but hopefully the roof of the tractor will ignore the roof of the tractor. We'll be getting to the back of this. We will. Okay, we are backing in. Oh, come on. Seriously? Now what I don't understand is, when I picked up the trailer, when I bought it, I drove over here and tried this, and it went in absolutely no problem at all. So why all of a sudden will it not go in? A bit of ramps down, that'll make a difference. Probably not. Right, there we go. We're in. How far in we need to go I don't know, but hopefully. Right, we are selling. Hopefully everything off that trailer will go. Let's get inside. I'm going to have a look from the other end. Just to prove that it does work, you can do it. Potatoes are selling. Don't know what pallets are going first though. I should have taken all the straps off, shouldn't I really? I don't know where it's selling from, I can't even tell. Maybe it's from the front. Okay, well, they are selling, and that's the main thing. That's what I wanted to make sure. At least in this episode I could sell something. Oh okay, maybe it's going from the front. So that didn't work. Now what I might do as well actually is let's release all the straps. There we go. So that's not holding anything in place now. So that should now, hopefully, there we go. A lot of the lag's gone now because a lot of the pallets have sold. So this is for Silas at the Untitled Chip Company. This is his 40,000 litres, which is going. We managed to do a little bit for Dan, but the rest of his will go next. After, I mean, I couldn't believe, having bought the trailer, checked it, backed it up, yep, it goes in, then coming up with the potatoes and it wouldn't go in, thinking, I can't believe this is going to happen again. And I thought, is it something to do with the pallets being on the back? But then the whole point is you're supposed to be able to sell pallets in here, but I suppose you're supposed to probably put them in a forklift or something like that. And like I say, people have messaged me to say prior to this that you can use a conveyor belt into the back of here and you can dump your potatoes out here, out of a trailer. You don't have to palletise, you know, there are loads of different ways of doing it, but I want to do it this way. 61,000 on potatoes, that isn't bad at all. So let's get this out, let's get the ramps up. Out of the way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that's the whole lot sold. So that's the contract for Silas at the Untitled Chip Company and Dan. Complete, all the pallets gone off both trailers. I was getting just over 2,000 per pallet. That's pretty good money for potatoes, but we are done. So finally, let's close this up. That's all loaded up. That's going to be winging its way to Dan and to Silas. Another job, another 2 jobs, another contract's complete. There's a bit of mayhem there. Didn't quite go to plan as I'd originally hoped, but we got there in the end. That's the main thing. So, we have come to the end of this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, from me and from Farm Dog. Thanks for watching.